Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the first episode of the proper season. After I posted my first impressions of this game, it seems like most of you really would like to see more, and considering how much fun I had last time, even when learning the basics, I think it will be a fantastic series to start now. So Oxygen Not Included, new game. So the first impressions I'm going to count as a bit of a practice run. We are making a brand new world this time, doing things better, especially after I learned a lot in the practice, and also learned a lot of stuff afterwards as well. So one thing I would like to have is a really high level digging person. So a high level digger is what I want. I also want someone with high creativity, but I feel like we get that later for when we're making some of the better aesthetic things, such as the portraits and the statues, which we almost got to in the first impressions. By the way, link to that video will be in the description. And other than that, athletics is always just really good. So let's just do a bit of shuffling until I find 3 fairly decent fellows. Okay, so this is the group we're going to go with. We have our miner, we have our builder and runner, and we have our scientist. So we can research nice and quickly, we can build nice and quickly, and we can dig out huge spaces. And thankfully, 2 of them have diver's lungs, which is actually a fantastic trait, at least in my opinion, because it just means we need less oxygen in our cave system, in our little base. And also, they are all destructive, which is actually a good thing apparently. Something I didn't think of was the idea of a tantrum cascade, as a lot of people call it from previous games. Essentially, if you have vomiting as your stress response, they can easily set each other off, and then it becomes absolute chaos. It takes a lot longer to fix. With destructive, it's annoying, but you can rebuild. It's easy enough to rebuild stuff. The items in this game normally aren't too expensive, so I do think destructive may be better than vomiting, although since we haven't actually seen either of them in action yet, maybe it would be better. I really don't know. Either way, name your colony. It's going to be the Lathrixian Mines, because it just reminds me of a giant mine system, to be perfectly honest. So let's embark and let's get started. Welcome to the world! Oh, fantastic! So this time, straight away, we have access to loads of different plants, including mealwood, which turns out is where you get the meal lice from, or whatever they're actually called. Essentially, food which doesn't make you instantly sick, which of course we do need very, very quickly. And over here, we can have our toilets, which will also net us a lot of algae. So, please, dig, 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 and we will get our toilets done straight away. One thing I did learn after ending the last recording is that, my god, I was doing so badly with the whole toilet system. All of our sanitary needs were less than sanitary. We were storing the poop in our normal storage containers, which actually pollutes the air. Oh, that's annoying. I have sand all on the top here. It's going to collapse as we dig. Well, that's just going to make things take longer than it otherwise would need to be. It's not all that bad. And I think I may just build straight down here. Build along. Have some ladders here. That way we can just get water from here without much of an issue. Oxygen over there. Carbon dioxide. Vacuum. Okay, nothing too bad. Loads of oxygen around us. So that's really not a bad start. Yay for the oxalite, I suppose. Okay, first thing I would like you to build is a couple of storage compactors, just for now. The non-permanent storage will just be over here. And will you build it anyway? Yes, you will. No need to change the priority system just yet. And then I would also like tiles everywhere, because it makes everyone happy, honestly. Oh, actually, not there, though. Cancel there. That's where the ladders are going to go. Like so. Oh, well that's annoying. Could you please get me that plant? And I'll just fast forward this until more things have happened. Right now we do have food and we do have oxygen, so our people will be fine. They just need somewhere to poop. Surprisingly important. And then we need somewhere to store the poop. Ugh. Lots of contaminated water over there. That's annoying. Where will the poop storage be? I think the poop storage should be down here. I agree, Lathrix. Once again, plants getting in our way. Last time, we didn't have enough plants. This time, we have plants everywhere. So much so, it's actually getting in our way. Come on, give me the seed. Or the muckroot. I believe that's how you get the seeds, isn't it? Yeah, we have the mealwood seed now. Okay, good. If I had accidentally destroyed those seeds, I'd be very annoyed. Okay, for now, let's just leave them to what I've already gave them to do over here. Colony requires toilets. Yes, I know. We'll be doing it in a second. And that would be, of course, in plumbing. Plumbing! Outhouse. Let's build one for each. Bit of a waste, but yeah, okay, we'll do that. No one needs the toilet just yet, so we don't need to make this the main priority, at least for the moment. Yes, build! Please keep cleaning all this up. And dig out that bit of algae as well, please. That would be wonderful. Or algae, depending on your particular pronunciation. And sweep all that up when you have a chance. That would be glorious. And I'll make this into its own little separate room. So, base, tiles. Let's do it like this, because I think this will look nice. And then the door. And yes, no. And yes, they do have to hop down, which is a little bit silly looking. I just thought that would look cooler. I don't know why I thought so, but I did. Also, we're going to have our poop storage really far away for some reason. That's fine. I want this space for us, and I will probably make this into different levels, honestly. And I'll probably build up here at some stage as well. Even though there is carbon dioxide, it does have oxygen nearby, and it does have a lot of plants again, which we do want soon. And when you can, just dig out that, and that'll be our poop storage. Oh, I always forget to do that, I'm sorry. I know, we have to press all on that, except for when we eventually get the poop, hasn't happened yet, we have to make sure these two can't accept it. We can't do that, though, until we actually have it, because the option simply isn't there. We only have the options for stuff we actually have somewhere available to us. And right now, we don't have poop available. A little bit of cleaning, and that'll be done. Ah, I should have built you a cot earlier, shouldn't I? I wonder where the sleep... how about the sleeping quarters go down here? That'd look nice. I think. There is so much algae over here, it's actually a little bit ridiculous. Okay, we want to mine out to here very soon as well. So maybe we should make the bed system over here. Make a bedroom here. So we have the bedroom here, pooping area over here, poop storage down there. Everything else can go into this area, and then we can build into the sandstone as we need more places. Also, I would say I'd go for this water rather than this water to unlock all these plants, but that's going to be way more annoying. But maybe it's worth it. Simply build the ladder here, and then move that way. Actually, yeah, maybe that'd be best, because that way we can also just carve a little section here, so we can access both waters. And that way we don't have to break all this section. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me, at least for now. So, do that. We don't really need the water just yet, so I'll put this as a really low priority to do. And then mine out everything you can see there. So, priority system, and I want you to be nice and low. Let's put you as a 2 for now. All lowly done. Everything else comes first. If you have some spare time, do that. We now also need to start sorting out our power supply. So, power. Manual generator. Maybe the generator system would be better here. That way we could go straight along these tiles. And we could also bring a tile down here like this. Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. So over here will be where we do our power. Down here will be sleeping areas. I didn't even notice those plants in the way. Plants everywhere. And now I think I really should just leave them. There's far too much to do. Let's allow them to finish off. We have no food yet, but of course once we have power we can start the food as well. We can probably put the food up here as well. So food creation and power, and then do science somewhere else. Here's a question. Contaminated oxygen. is that something which will rise or fall? Now, I've been told this by a lot of people, but I haven't confirmed it yet. But a lot of people have told me that oxygen will go up, and carbon dioxide, which is more dense, will go down. Of course, this is a game, so we have to use game logic, not real logic, and that's why it's always questionable if things like that are actually true. Because if it is true, then we'll want the poop storage as high as possible. In fact, probably somewhere like up here, its own little contained area. Oh, now I've said that. Okay, maybe convert this to regular storage, and then have a ladder going up here, like so, and then have the poop storage in this little vacuum section. Yeah, I think that would actually be a lot better. Until we can have fertilizer. Once we have fertilizer, we can convert the poop into something, and then that's no longer a threat. At least I don't believe fertilizer causes the toxic buildup, like all this lovely stuff over here. I don't think so, anyway. Our manual generator is about to be created, and as such, we can now run some electrical wire all the way along these floor panels. And then we can figure out where we want everything else. So if it is true that oxygen goes up and carbon dioxide goes down, we're going to want the oxygen creating things as low down as possible to automatically spread throughout our compound. Eventually we do get options so that we can manually figure out where gas goes. We have the gas exchange stuff, but for now that's not an option yet. I'm just going to do this. Bit lazy, I'll admit, but nice and easy. I want power cables everywhere. We're going to have the ultimate infrastructure. And then a ladder here, because that's what we were missing before the cuts. Finally getting down there. I think I should have built the cuts a bit faster as well, because that is going to start stressing out our guys. Isn't good. We now have a new duplicate. Okay, let's have a look-see. Who do we have available to us? We have you, the ultimate decorator, although you are, of course, expecting a much better bit of decoration because of that. We have a chef, which is okay. We currently don't really have a good chef, so that's pretty neat. And you're actually decent at learning as well. Then we have you, the technician, who is a mouth breather. Ah, that's actually really quite annoying. Loud sleeper, that's very irritating. You have the least negative of the negatives. You are also destructive. Okay, yeah, you are with us now. Printing, welcome. Eventually, when we unlock more creative things, you can be the first person to do all that. So now we need 4 cuts. Also, I will say, I think we were a bit slow on getting the research started, but at least now we can at least make our first deoxidizer, which we'll put there. And then electrical wires run along, go to you, wonderful. We can also start producing food now. Well, at least we can once we get towards the water, so no rush to make the food, but even so. So where are we going to build this then? Where is the food going to go? We could do is split off this section here, so we have cots at the bottom and then perhaps food production here. We have a lot of space. We do have a lot of space. We could also do it over here. We have a lot of space there. Actually, we have a lot of places we can build stuff. So, let's decide then. Maybe what I should do is start building down, having all the stuff over here, but then we're making it too spread out. It's not very efficient right now. We want everything a little bit closer by. So, perhaps what we should do, base, tile, is have another room here. And this will be one of the things, either food or something else. And then we can have science here, so it's all along this row. That's not too bad, actually. Yeah, that's fine. There's no negatives for our people running through each room. And yes, I don't really need to room them all off. It just makes it easier for me to figure out what's going on. I'm a simple person. Research station. We'll go here. There we are. Oh, does that have enough space for the supercomputer later? It does! Wonderful! Then everything's fine. You can go like that. That's the first thing I would like, because right now we are absolutely fine for food, thanks to finding all of the other stuff earlier, like the muckroot. And look! Everyone has a cot. I'm assuming you're going to your cot. Currently, our new person is unhappy, and I think it's going to be because, yep, she wants much better decor, which will happen very soon, thankfully. We also have some seeds, so what we could do is put down one of these here. Wow, yeah, that place. Yep, we are very bad in terms of decor right now. Maybe the first thing I'll research then is the increased decor, things like the paintings, because they are really effective in comparison to the plant pots and such. Also, the tiles do increase decor a little bit, don't they? Decor +5, 1 tile radius. So, you could put a bit of a wall here as well, which would look nice, I suppose. Things like that. That would probably be best. One thing I've just thought of is perhaps we don't have to have the battery storage in this room. The reason being that this room is going to have a low decor anyway because of all the generator stuff. Why not put the other things, which also lower decor, somewhere nice and far away, not in the same room? Probably quite a good idea, actually. So, deconstruct that when you can, thank you. And then ladders all the way down. And then we'll put the power through that. Like so, and then finally put some tiny batteries all the way along there to store the battery power. Excellent. Oh yeah, also attach that. Oh, it is. Okay, so, why isn't it working then? Because I haven't opened up research, of course that's the reason. So the first thing I would like then, well, I would like to be able to do the farming, since that's why we're kind of holding off for food right now until we're farming. That also gives us the compost. Yeah, okay, so farming tech first, then we're going to do interior decor. Interior. That sounds like a bad sci-fi name. Oh, have you met Interior? He loves to decorate. Okay, now all that's sorted, let's get making people do jobs. So, we only want our local artist to do anything to do with art. And then, how about our science? Power doesn't really matter too much who does it, as long as someone's doing it, but obviously that's the most important there. Then combat, leave as is for now. Deliver, dig, sweep, generate power. Okay, research. Yeah, our scientist. Only our scientist can do research. And we've just put that as continuous, so now, hopefully soon, we'll start with our research. Yes, we know we need more decor. It's happening soon, I promise. I promise. Excellent. Look at all that lovely power we have. So, if we go into our decor mode, which I believe is here somewhere. There we are. I wonder how much that spreads. I wonder if adding a door actually stops the spread of the decor thing. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't really care. I like the rooms being separate. That's the important thing. So if it is a benefit, then it's a benefit. If it's not, I think it looks nicer. I really need to keep up with sweeping. Sweeping is a massive problem here. If you don't, all of that stuff on the floor actually decreases decor massively in an area, which makes people very upset, especially our decorator. So hopefully once they've slept, they can clean all that up. I've also increased the priority over here, so finally we are doing something. Also, why is that not being worked on? Surely you can work on that. If not, then we have a yeah, surely you can, because you have built this one here. So, priority, can you just make sure you can actually do that? Build those two first, seriously. After you're done eating. Unreachable. That's weird. I thought I could build... Oh, maybe it's the tile being in the way. Okay, destroy that tile, build those. Didn't even notice that. Could have been making oxygen this entire time. My bad. Trying to rush doing everything else, and I overlooked something fairly obvious. There we are, finished. So now the algae oxidizer can actually do its job. which is good, because we have loads of algae. Yay! Making oxygen! Now, I wonder... Whoa. Using algae, 700 grams per second, emitting oxygen 400. Okay, so the algae terrariums, although they do require carbon dioxide, or at least they convert carbon dioxide, I'm not sure if they always need it to work, doesn't really matter too much. They seem to be far more efficient, although far, far slower per one. For instance, I believe the algae terrarium uses 20 or so per second and gives you 40 oxygen per second. Obviously much better than that thing. Though that makes sense, considering this is the lowest tech of any oxygen production. So let's just leave it as it is for now, only one of them. Ooh, pretty. Oh, wow, sand leaks water. We have learned a lesson, a very cool one indeed. Okay, I actually quite like that. It's annoying for us, but I do like it. Actually, not too much of a huge rush either, since it's just draining into this pool that we're going to use anyway. Oh yeah, destroyed the sand first. There we go, it's fine. You know what, build tiles all the way down, it'll look nice. And then eventually we'll just put down ladders to get the water as it goes lower and lower. That's actually pretty cool though, because it means we can keep on using this, just leaking the water in as we need to. Excellent, research is done, our very first research, so we'll also get the second one then, in which we'll do internal, again with me saying weird things, decor. We're doing the decor one. Good. So now we have compost, which I'm going to put up here. And we do have the power now to actually farm properly, so now is when we're going to start doing food. So, where's our planter boxes going to go? Oh, I suppose down here actually makes sense, where it's water. Just put them all down here and just make this our farm. Yeah, that makes complete sense to me, actually. And then when the water's gone, we can do more stuff down here. That seems completely reasonable. And I want lots of them. Finding all of that muckroot earlier has really benefited us, since we are really doing fine for food still, even though at no point have we actually started its production. Really happy with that. Also, this water is taking a long time to drain. Morb. This is Morb. Hello, Morb. We can get yet another new person, and I think it will be okay. So let's do this. New person, hello there, what do we have available to us? We have you, which apparently is flatulent. That's somewhat worrying. I don't know what that actually does. Maybe it actually causes the pollution, which would be very worrying. We have you, who is the ultimate jack of all trades, but you do get sick. But you do have diver's lungs. I think I'm going to go with the overall person, honestly. We don't need another creative person, and you have those two, which are just terrible. Okay, yep, you're in. Welcome. We need at least one more cot. Oh, we have this lovely little plant there now. I was going to put it there, but instead I'll have to move it a little bit. Still getting them to do a little bit too much right now. They're taking a while because of how much I am asking them to do, and honestly, not much of it is more important than the rest, so just keep on doing everything, I suppose. Actually, no. Before the end of the episode, I would like to have our plants growing, so these. Please. Thank you. So we have the mealwood seeds, which is what I'm going to go with, and then the blossom seed, which does require fertilizer, which will very soon be available to us. Still very cool, though. Yield is 1 blossom per harvest. Oh. Max harvest is 5. Decor... Oh, that's interesting. So this actually increases the decor. Both of them do, actually. I did not expect that. So actually, growing these pretty much everywhere wouldn't be a terrible thing. Down here's going to be the prettiest place we have until we start putting down our new decor items. Well, for now, I am going to go with mealwood, though, because that will give us the item we want for our first food type we're going to be making, because that will not give us diarrhea, unlike the regular food type you can make, which is literally dirt and water mixed, with a bit of bacteria for flavour. Yep. Do we have enough for all of them? Be great if we did. I'm actually surprised if we did. I may be surprised. That's already done, that's done. Yeah, we actually have enough for one more, so may as well. I mean, why not? Sure, let's put down one more plant then. So, once again, food, I would like, and one more planter box, and that'll be one more mealwood. And once again, can someone please get here and actually build this thing? That'll be fantastic. Thank you. Ta-da! We have plants. Very soon it will cycle up, and then we'll have some plants sorted. Night-night, everyone. Oh no, the cut wasn't quite made. One of you is going to have a bad night's sleep. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. Build ladders here, and then we're going to build tiles all here, and then make this into a separate room. This room will be our food room, our food production room. And yes, I have built everything way too far away from each other. I think maybe the most efficient way to build would probably be just essentially a giant square, all tiled up so you have several layers which you can just move from each layer to each layer, and then have it that way. Rather than what I'm doing now, which is trying to stick to the natural caverns, because I think it looks nicer. Don't think it is actually quite as efficient, honestly. And cancel those, please. Thank you. Algae terrarium. Recycles carbon dioxide into a small amount of oxygen. Okay, I'm going to put one of those there. In fact, 2 of them, maybe even 4 of them there. Because this is clearly a carbon dioxide trap. And by the looks of things, carbon dioxide does indeed go down. Which means we want these as low as possible, so they can grab all the carbon dioxide being built here, and then pump out oxygen, which will go upwards. That makes sense to me. They do, however, have a very poor decor rating, which makes sense. So that should be reasonable. And then we just add ladders. If I had ladders like this, maybe what would be best then is doing this. That way they can still get water. Cancel those. Tile up this. I'm sure they can get water whilst on the ladder. I've seen them build on the ladder, so that makes complete sense to me. Oh, what's wrong with you? Okay, some of these are having problems. What's the problem with the plants? The atmospheric pressure is too low. Really? I thought it was maxed out because of this thing. Then maybe I need one of these guys down here just to pump it all back up. Okay, that's something I didn't know of. I didn't see that last time I played, so something new for me to learn. And let's pop up the priority of that quite highly, because I want that food as soon as possible. Now is the point where food is looking still pretty good, honestly, but it's looking like we should be a little bit more prepared than we currently are. Now, when I put down the algae terrariums, they are going to consume... Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking at milligrams, thinking it was grams. I thought it was going to take away a lot of carbon dioxide for a bit of oxygen. Okay, that's fine. So we can put these down as well then, like I was going to originally. And they don't need power, thankfully. Every time they grow up, that happens. Maybe it's because they're so close to each other as well. Maybe that's actually a problem. We'll find out very soon once that thing starts working. We are still learning. We're still new to this game. Oh, it's working, so clearly it wasn't maxed out. Oh, yeah, 'cause it's the only gap between them, isn't it? Okay. Hopefully once this has worked for a while, it should be okay down here for these plants to grow. So like I was saying before with the algae, the deoxidizer here is currently using 633 per second and producing 400 oxygen per second. Our little terrarium over here is using 24 and giving us 40. So clearly more efficient with the algae, but it is using up our water. This one is using up power and algae, but no water. And yes, we can drain water with the ladders. That's pretty darn awesome. All this carbon dioxide will soon be fixed. we are now producing fertilizer. Now, this is currently still producing contaminated oxygen, just like the contaminated dirt, but I believe once it is actually fertilizer, because right now it's still just the dirt, the fertilizer doesn't produce the toxic gas. It may do, I might be wrong, but from what I've heard from people, it doesn't. And I'm really hoping it doesn't, otherwise we're always going to be producing toxins, and that's just really, really annoying, honestly. Now that comes from refinement, so what we're going to do is actually put down a couple more compost heaps there, so all of the organic waste is put over here. And then these can also hold the fertilizer for now. Okay, good, the plants aren't dying anymore, so clearly this was indeed what we needed to do. I am actually going to turn this off for now, because it doesn't really need to be on all the time. And over here we can see the carbon dioxide in this room has been massively decreased and has been replaced with oxygen. These things are awesome. But for now, I do have to call the episode. Once again, time has simply flew by. This is a really addictive game, and I'm hoping I'll get better at it as time goes by. I'm still building things not very efficiently, because I'm just placing them down in a hurry, in a bit of a panic. But even so, I do feel like I am learning. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Oxygen Not Included is a series you would like to see continued in the future. In the next episode, we're going to be sorting out our food supply, finally, since these lovely mealwoods are already on 49%, and I'm going to start setting up our cooking section over here. Once again, not the most efficient way of doing things, but I think it looks nice-ish. I also need to make sure I am actually always doing research. There we are. So, thank you again for watching, and goodbye.